Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over what I'm going to do tomorrow for my Sunday school lesson. The Sunday school lesson has to do with Elijah and the widow. So per the earlier video, I showed you the little labels that we're going to make for the top. I did have to readjust the size to 1.5 inch versus the 2.5 inch. Couldn't remember how large the bottle top was. But here's my bottle. I have a clear bottle. I bought these from Amazon. I'll show you right here. They weren't that expensive. I don't remember how much they were, but found them on Amazon. Kind of wish maybe I'd gotten them just a little bit larger. But like I said, the top of this is 1.5 inch. And I think this might be in a 1.5 inch size too. Now, let me see. How big is this? No, I haven't tape measure. But anyway, I think this will be just about the right size for the kids. Didn't want to get one too big because that means we just have to put more stuff in it. So we do have the jar. The other thing that I purchased were these little These little 1 milliliter glass bottles with cork stoppers. So they're even smaller. I probably should put down, let me see, I wonder if I put something down. Roll over here and get some paper. Since they're clear, this might actually help you see them a little better. Okay, there we go. So, see the bottle? Now, I got a pack of these. It has a little funnel. I had to order these little funnels. But let me move this down so you can see it just a little better. So I have the small cork bottles. And what I'm going to do, get the corks out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill them. I am actually going to fill them with water. I'm going to fill them with oil and with, I had to get that cork out of the bottom of it. I'm going to fill it with oil, so I got some olive oil in here. And I have some flour in here in the bowl. I'm going to use the funnel. I'm going to use the funnel for the flour. I got me a spoon. I'm just going to put a little bit of flour in it so it doesn't take much to fill this up. Okay, let me pull this up just a little bit. This is why I was going to have the kids do it, but I'm making a mess. So I can't imagine what they would have done. See if we can get a little more of this down in here. I have flour in. Get one of my corks. Now I'm going to push these corks down. I'm going to push these corks down kind of far because I'm sure these kids, if they could get them open, at some point, you have that temptation just to go ahead and open it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this down as far as I can get it in the bottle. Make it to where it can't be opened. You can see the little bottle. And so you can see it better, I do have all these little Cricut gadgets. Let me put it in here. There you'll be able to see it. I have the bottle of flour. Now I'm going to put some oil in there. So you see I got a ketchup squirter from the, I guess you call it ketchup dispenser. I got it from the Dollar Tree. Got two. Okay, there we go. That's about how far I'm going to fill it up. I think that would have been the easiest way. See, it's filled up. And I'm going to put a cork in it. Once again, I'm going to push this down as far as I can get it. I don't want these kids to accidentally get this open. And the next thing I know, we've got oil all over the Sunday school room. Initially, I was going to let the children do this, and my husband suggested that was probably a really bad idea. Because you're going to have flour and oil everywhere. So I thought maybe he had a good point. So I didn't. Now I'm going to use a glue dot. I would, if this wasn't a kid's project, I would probably put hot glue on it. But with the kids, you can't do that. So I did put 2 glue dots. I'm going to try to center this right here. Oh, good. Stays really good. Let's do the same for the one with the flower. Put 2 dots. So my kids really like the glue dots. I'm going to put this in here as well. You see they're fastened down. Nothing drips. Not falling out. Let me try to straighten that up a little bit. Now, I did go and buy sand in the craft department, the craft area at Walmart. I had initially thought, oh, I'm just going to get some play sand, but that's a really bad idea just because it's wet. And I do not want to send the kids home with wet sand. Let me cut this off so we can get this open. Okay, put this off to the side. It's a little bit, I don't think I've ever purchased this before, so maybe a little more of a harder opening, a little more challenge to open this up than I thought. So what I'm going to do is I brought one of my Tupperware bowls up. For the kids tomorrow, I'm probably going to divvy this into, I usually have 3 tables. Probably going to divvy this into 3, I'll put this in like 3 of the little to-go containers. May not give them quite as much because I know that they will probably have a little bit of a mess with that, kids and rocks and sand. So try to monitor it. But what they're going to do is I'm going to give them a small spoon, a small plastic spoon, and just give them enough that they can fill this end. Because it was drought. So there probably wasn't a lot of vegetation. So make it look a little sandy, desolate. I'm not going to have them fill it all the way up to where the bottles are buried, and then they'll have a whole nother thing going on. I did get some moss in case they want to put a little bit of shrubbery up in there, or a little bit of green. Once again, I'm going to monitor it because if I don't, I know it's hard to tell what it'll end up looking like. So got a little bit of the moss. I may just put a little green because there may have been a sagebrush or just a little bit of something in there, something to give it just a little bit of color. Not a whole lot. Like I said, I'm going to monitor what they do tomorrow because I don't want this to end up being filled with sand and all you see are the corks at the top, or filled with a bunch of green. Okay, I'm going to peel the sticker off. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my lid. Okay, so we have it. It has Elijah the widow and the sun. You see that on the picture, there's plenty of flour, there's plenty of oil, and it says, my God shall supply all your need. I'm going to put this on the top. I'll screw it on there. Now, the lid didn't go exactly wanted. It's I think what I'm going to do is I will have them tomorrow put the lid on and then put the sticker on. That way they can center it between the oil. I didn't center. Oh, there you go. That one worked. So there we're on there. You can see. Still don't think it's centered enough. I didn't push this on real hard, so I'm going to lift this back up. See, I didn't do this before I got on here to chat with you, so I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I will have them finish the inside of the jar and then put this on the top. Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool. My gosh, I'll supply all your need. Now, I could have made these a little bit larger, but I think this will work. If I make them too big, then they overhang. If I make them too small. So I think this will work. I also have a lot of this decorative tape. I got it for another project. Honestly don't remember what I purchased it for. May have gotten on clearance. I'm really good about getting stuff when it's on clearance. And thinking, hey, I'll be able to use it for this or this, and then when it actually comes time, this or this doesn't happen. So let me see if I can get this open. Then I may have them do, instead of putting a string around the lid because string always seems to cause a challenge. Doesn't want to stay where they want it to put, and then it where they want it to stay, and then it just becomes, you know, just becomes a little bit more of a challenge, and the children are not happy. And not a good thing when you have unhappy children. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to cut it off with my scissors. And just cut it off. And there we go. There's our project. The kids can always look at it and remember that God supplies your needs. He supplied the widow with the oil, the bread, in a really dusty, sandy time. He took care of everything that they needed. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. And please have a good Sunday. And hopefully we will see you again the next time we get on. You have a good one. And if you enjoyed this segment, please remember to click like and subscribe. Thank you.